Hi everyone, so we have reached finally the end of the semester, and let's talk about our final assignment, which is the interpersonal argument paper. Now for this paper, you are going to be basing your paper on chapter 16 on the textbook, which is the interpersonal argument chapter. So I wanted to quickly kind of go over the assignment and then go over the rubrics. So for this assignment, you are required to pick an interpersonal argument that you have had with a person that you have a relationship with. So an interpersonal relationship is anything that is a relationship that is close, mother, daughter, and or son, partner and partner, best friends, cousins, etc. So a relationship that is really, really close. An example of of a relationship that would not fit into interpersonal communication would be kind of like your barista at Starbucks, when you like the same barista that you go to every morning. Unless you are friends outside of Starbucks, that does not consider as a good example for this assignment. So that's what it is, and you're going to be kind of like examining that and applying the concepts from chapter 16 to it. So let me quickly go over the rubrics. So there are two rubrics. There's one for the paper and for a presentation. So let's quickly go over the interpersonal paper rubric. So your paper is a minimum of 3 pages all the way to the bottom, up to a maximum of 5. So it could vary from that, but you have to meet the minimum of 3 pages. So there are different criteria that I'm going to be looking at. There's 5 of them. So let's quickly go over them. The first thing that I'm going to be looking at is the format. As you all know, in this class, I have required a 1-inch margins, 12-point font, double space format for your papers. It kind of makes it easier to read. So make sure that you meet that format and the paper meets a minimum of 3 pages. And that counts out of 10 points. Next criterion that I'm going to be looking at is the description of the argument. Make sure that you explain very detailed how the argument came about. Think about it as explaining your argument to a friend. How would you explain it to them? You would give them a lot of detail, right? That's the same thing that you're doing for this assignment. So that's out of 20 points. The next thing that you're going to be doing is you are going to be explaining to us the resolution of the argument. In other words, how did the argument come to an end? What happened? Did it get resolved? Did it not get resolved? So you're going to explaining that to us, and you're going to be providing detail. That's out of 10 points. The next thing that we're going to be looking at are the relationship and the adjacency pairs. In chapter 16, adjacency pairs are discussed, and the adjacency pairs are 3 of them, and they are clearly on chapter 16. So make sure that you apply one of those adjacency pairs to your argument. You can use more than one if you feel like it needs more description, that's fine. So make sure that you clearly mention the adjacency pair and that you explain the background of the relationship that you have with the person. Is this person like a long friend that you've had since you were kids? Is this person somebody that you recently started dating? Is it a relationship that you have with a mother or father that's a little bit strained? So any of those is fine. Finally, I'm going to be looking at you using textbook sources or sources that you have from the lectures or anything that you find on Canvas. Make sure that you use that material and let me know that you have learned and that you're actually applying the material to your paper. Finally, I want you to tell me what you would change about the argument, if you would change anything, and what concept of the book you would apply. If you don't want to change anything about the argument, tell me why you don't want to change anything. And if you see that you actually use some of the concepts about from the book or from the class that you didn't know you were using, let me know which ones they are and tell me how you use them in that argument. So that would be the presentation. The presentation is out of 80, I mean, the paper is out of 80 points. So let's quickly go back to the presentation rubric. So the presentation rubric is this one. Your presentation is out of 20 points. It has to be filmed through Flipgrid, and it's between 3 to 4 minutes, minimum of 3 minutes, maximum of 4. So we are all used to using Flipgrid by this time of the semester. So make sure that you go on Flipgrid, either you're using the join code or you just directly go in from Canvas. So there are 2 criteria that I'm going to be looking at. One is preparedness, the other one is the prompt. Both of them are 10 points. So in regards to preparedness, I want to see that the presentation is well rehearsed, you're not reading from your paper or from the screen, that your presentation meets the minimum of 3 minutes and reaches the maximum of 4, not more than that, and that you look at the camera, kind of like if you were talking to a friend, and that you're very descriptive. So that would be the criterion number 1. The second criterion that we're going to be looking at is the prompt. There are 3 questions that I need you to answer. If you want to look at the questions, they are on your assignment, so check those out. Make sure that you answer the questions clearly, that you provide detail and evidence when answering those questions, and make sure you tell us which concepts from the book you actually applied to your argument, and that's out of 20 points. So this is our final assignment for the course. I really want to see you put all those skills into practice. Let me know what you learn and how this would change your interpersonal relationships. We saw arguments in different areas in different fields, but one of the things that you're probably going to see argumentation come up a lot is in your interpersonal relationships. So let me know how you would use arguments and what you learned in this course and how would you change your argument style and all of that. If you have any questions, let me know and I'm here for you all. I hope you're having a good week and we're at the end of the semester. Have a good day, y'all.